All right, welcome to the Own It Show. We're so grateful for you all to be here today with us. You know, we're here to help uncommon knowledge become common so we can help birth peace in heaven on earth for the highest good of all, because life is meant to be blissful. And here on the Own It Show, we are here to educate, serve, and inspire. So we are bringing always incredible guests with amazing zones of genius and conscious entrepreneurs to inspire you to own it. So today we have special guest Kadie, and I will let her give a full intro of who she is, what she does, how she helps people, and the results she helps them get. So take it away.
Thank you so much, Heather. Yes, my name is Kadie, and I am a consultant for the Proctor Gallagher Institute. What I do is I really help to just clear those mental blocks, that junk, the mental junk from people's minds, to really help them aspire to accomplish whatever it is that they want to accomplish. Because, there's absolute perfection within each and every one of us. And a lot of us simply aren't aware of that. And so it's just a matter of removing the lies, the limitations, getting that out of the way so that the true you can really start shining through. So that's essentially what I do.
I love that. And I think it's so important. I've been doing podcasts all day, guesting and having people on our show. And we actually had an NLP practitioner earlier today. And, most people just don't know what they don't know.
That's just it. Yeah.
And they don't know there's another way. They don't know they're their own glass ceiling. They don't know that there's a metaphysical and a physical to work with. And I love PGI. So for those who don't know what that is, that's the Proctor and Gallagher Institute. And it's not Procter and Gamble. No, very different. It's Proctor and Gallagher. So Bob Proctor, who is just recently passed on to his next phase in life. And 56 years was it that he's been coaching? 60 years he's been coaching. And most likely if they are successful, they were coached by Bob at one time, including, Ellen DeGeneres and, so much more. And Bob Proctor really dove into human potential and performance before it was a thing.
Yeah.
And starting to help people remove their limiting belief systems, because we just didn't know that we were walking around like our 7-year-old conditioned selves. And most people still don't know. To be honest, about 90% of the population is still walking around like their 7-year-old conditioned self. Will hit the grave and say, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, and lived an average and mundane life and never actually lived by design, but absolutely by default. And I believe the stat is 80% of the population doesn't like their job. They just took it because it was the first thing that they got. So I love that you are here to help actually people live by design, right? By choice, to realize that there is a choice, there is another way, and life is meant to be blissful, but we're just not taught these tools and resources in school, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I one of Bob's quotes is that, you don't discover, you don't create your purpose, you discover it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Like each and every one of us, we're here for a specific purpose, and we all have something unique and special about us. And like you said, so many of us have walked this earth and left it, never getting to unlock it because they simply just didn't know what they didn't know. Right? Yeah. And that's the real unfortunate truth on that. And that is truly sad. And, quite honestly, that was me at one point. I was an unconscious incompetent. I just didn't know what I didn't know until I knew, until it was sort of brought to me where I literally felt like I was in a dark cave stepping out into the light. Right. And that's just it. I just really want to bring awareness to everyone that we have infinite potential and we're here for a specific purpose. We're not here to simply just exist.
Mm-hmm.
Endure a job that you hate just because it was the first thing that came along, or because you're bound to it like a slave because you earn that money and that's all you can see. You can't see past that, right? We're here to enjoy life. Abundance is every single one of our birthrights, and we can do it, and we can live happy, and we should. This is the way we should be living, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just excited to know that that I have a chance to do that now. It took me a minute, but once I realized, I was all in. And so I just want to bring awareness to everybody else. And it's never too late.
Amen.
As long as you have air in those lungs, it is never too late to act on your dreams, right?
Absolutely.
And to even discover it. It's never too late to even discover it.
And for so many of it, somebody was just asking me in the last podcast, well, how do you discover it? And I love the Steve Jobs quote, like if you can't look in the mirror for too many days in a row and say, this, if this was my last day on earth, this is what I'd want to be doing, then you need to change it. And I always say, in the words of Bob Proctor, whatever you're doing right now, you're trading your life for. So it might as well be worth you. And so really, truly discovering what you love, how you can be of service to the world, you will be compensated. That's the law of cause and effect, right? If you can find a way to serve, then the universe will compensate you. And guess what? You'll actually enjoy the journey.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll be compensated tenfold. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody wins, right? Like when
Win,
it
win,
comes to
win.
that, exactly. When we're dealing with life and we're playing by the rules to the game of life and we understand the rules, it's a game where everybody can win. There doesn't have to be any losers.
I'm like, do I clap? Do I snap? Do I stomp? Do I get up and have a dance party to that? Does that go on a t-shirt? Like, we can all win.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we can all
Peace
win.
in heaven on earth for the highest good of all. Not for some, not for a select few, not for the 1%, not for those. No, I won't even go down that rabbit hole. We can all win. And that's unity consciousness. And that's what I'm here to do, is help people come into the unity consciousness, which is actually, we all win or nobody wins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And you've got some great entrepreneur journey along your way. So share with other people, because we also know that only 10% of the population is willing to do what it takes to see down the road and around the corner and be an entrepreneur and give up what they call, quote unquote, their security of their stable job, which we've learned in the last couple of years is a lie, right? All successful people have multiple streams of income, at least 6, right? So if something were to occur, they could easily pivot and transition. So if we want to give our life away to one thing, that tells us what we're worth, and that disappears, then what, right? So I want to help people to, it's a journey. Being an entrepreneur is a journey. It means growing. It means constantly being uncomfortable. It means constantly stepping outside of your comfort zone. It means constantly being in the energy of service. And it is a journey. And we need more people to come and be conscious entrepreneurs and put people over profits, because our current system is broken and we need to make it obsolete by making a new system of conscious entrepreneurs that actually make a positive environment for people to come and work in. And that is actually creating peace in heaven on earth. So let's share a little bit of your inspiring entrepreneur journey. A theme here is that this is never the person's first calling, right?
Yeah.
So it's often, the first one failed, this, that, and the other thing. So share a little bit about your journey with us.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I was an employee alone for so many years, and I lived a life of like complete scarcity, fear of the unknown, fear of stepping outside of the comfort zone, fear of even the idea of not having a regular paycheck coming in. I feared everything, but it was my conditioning, the way I grew up. My parents came, they were immigrants to this country. They came here with nothing but my sister in tow, you know what I mean? And me in my mother's belly. And so they didn't know what they didn't know, and they did the best they could with what they did, and raised me, but with scarcity and limiting beliefs, right? And so that literally controlled my life. I had a very inappropriate relationship to money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I had to reevaluate and shift that belief, because that just wasn't serving me either, right? And yeah, initially got into real estate investing with my husband, still doing that. Love that very much. But during that journey, that's when personal development was really opened up to me. And I realized, like I said, whoa, I didn't realize that I had actually been operating as a victim of circumstance,
With no make wrong. I just want to be clear to the audience, there's being at cause and there's being at effect. And when we're being a victim, we are at effect, which means we're not owning it and not taking responsibility. And there's no make wrong. It just is what it is. And it's quantum physics, it's neuroscience. It just is what it is. And there's no make wrong. And we don't know what we don't know. So most of us operate in our victim story, and there's a secondary gain of staying there. And I played that for so long until I was like, it's more painful to be a victim than to be a victor, and I'm going to change my story. So I 100% understand that. And I just want to say, for most people, we're there, but we're very blessed to have people like Bob Proctor and what have you to put us in the right direction. My mom was so fantastic. Give me the secret when I was younger. Give us, teach me from Wayne Dyer, Louise Hay. If it wasn't for those things, I would have never been pointed in this direction because the traditional school system would have never pointed me here. So there's no make wrong. We don't know what we don't know, and the system is not designed for success. You actually have to go out and discover it on your own.
And unfortunately as well, although we were born to win, we're literally programmed to lose, right?
Yeah.
And even though it's no judgment, right? The issue is, even though you don't know what you don't know, what you don't know could kill you,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So
yes.
it's still
Ignorance is
important.
not bliss.
It is not bliss, right? It is not bliss. And so, here I was, mother of five, working, feeling like a victim. And once I realized that this is how I was operating, but that the control was actually in my hands, that I had the ability to decide what kind of life I was going to do and have, rather, and that it was all up to me. I was excited. I mean, I immediately took responsibility and just started moving. And that's really what transformed my life. Like, just with what Bob had taught me, and being mentored by him was just so absolutely life transforming, and being able to take those lessons and teachings and embody that within myself, within my own results, and then teach that to my clients. There's no greater feeling than that, right? It's all about service, like you said, right? And to know that I'm actually making a difference in other people's lives, doing something that I love. I mean,
There's no greater thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
isn't it a beautiful thing when you can help people get what they want
Oh, it is amazing. So amazing.
and play full out?
And just with some people, it's literally just giving them a life back. Like, literally giving them their life. I mean, this is life or death for some people that I've worked with,
Yes. Yeah.
So
And I like to say, do it like your life depends on it, because it really does.
it does.
Yeah. Grow like your life depends on it, because it does. And the
Yeah.
quality of your life is
Yeah.
based on your level of awareness, and you're not going to get that in a traditional system. So you need to go outside the box and study. And that's people like Kadie and myself that are here to help inspire, educate, and serve, so that you can actually understand human conditioning and behavior, because it's just not common knowledge.
Yeah,
It's,
exactly. It's sort of, we've got to take it on as if, like, just like brushing our teeth. It's just something that we have to incorporate into our daily life, right? Every day. We've got to study daily, because it never ends. You're always expanding. We're always for expansion. Like a flower that grows, it's always for fuller expansion, fuller expression. And that's us as humans, right?
And so I'm a bookworm, so I'm going to ask you a question. What's your favorite book?
Oh, you know what? I've got so many right now. To name one would be tough, but on the top of the list, I would say The Power of Now from Eckhart Tolle is definitely up there. Of course, I mean,
Think and Grow Rich. Yeah, I got my copy right here.
You know what? Listen, this is the study, right?
The
study.
foundation.
It's the foundation. That's one that's on my desk. I'm going through it daily. I actually have more than one copy because I just need to have it around. It's a part of, it's a study book.
Yes.
What else? Oh, James Allen, As a Man Thinketh. There's just so much. But I mean, I'm a bookworm as well, and of course, Neville Goddard is absolutely phenomenal.
Power of awareness. That would change my life.
Feeling is the secret. Right? Yeah. So I've got a few, but those are the ones that I kind of go to daily.
I love it. And what would be a few tips you would like to leave with our audience today, so that they can tap into their full potential and actually own their life by design and not by default?
Let them know that they have absolutely control over one thing, and it's their thoughts. You can absolutely accept or reject what you want to take in. Now, I know what's going on right now in the world is not the greatest, right? But we want to be consciously aware of what we're emotionally getting involved in, because we don't want to take on other burdens. There's other ways that we can provide service, right? So if it isn't serving you, have compassion, but consciously decide that you're not going to entertain anything that isn't going to empower you to move forward. Master your thoughts and become the master of your fate.
Yeah, I love that. I never knew I had a choice was a book we did in a positive psychology class. Absolutely changed my life. Still have that textbook, and that's over almost 12 years ago now. So that book changed my life, and
I've
then
never heard of it. Wow.
it's a positive psychology textbook. Never knew you had a choice. And it was saying, I forget the stat, and I'm like 20, say I'm 20 at the time and reading this, that 65% of the people, or if not more, reach 65 and say, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. And I remember in that moment going, that will not be me. And we had to do this exercise that had you write your eulogy. And I thought, well, holy macaroni and cheese. That moment changed my life, because you had to imagine if you were like a ghost watching, what's the impact you left? What are people talking about you? What's the legacy that you left? And it had me look at life completely different, and just literally revamped my whole process of living. And so we really don't realize that we have a choice. And actually, one of my other favorite books, and I'm trying to think of the name right now, but that's the whole thing. It's all about that. We don't understand that every single thought is actually a choice.
Yeah.
Every single thought is actually a choice. No one can make you feel any way except yourself.
Yeah.
And you can choose to entertain what makes you feel good or what doesn't make you feel good. And that's 100% up to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you may not be aware of how to do that, and that's what we can definitely help you with.
That's what Kadie's here before to do for you.
Yeah.
I gotta get this. I'm gonna have to get that book, because I think I listened to it about 3 times, and it literally just like nailed Your Greatest Power by J. Martin Covey.
Your Greatest Power. I'll write
Yeah,
that down.
that is a fantastic book, and that's all about the power of choice.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so absolutely fantastic book. Okay, love your tips. Keep going. Bring them on.
Um, what else? Let's see here.
What's your biggest lesson from Bob?
Wow, with Bob, you got to have something that you're working towards. We are goal seekers by nature, okay? And it's got to be big enough that it's going to excite you to get out of bed every morning, right? Um, and you're not supposed to know how to do it, because that's the whole point of having a goal, is to stretch yourself, is to grow, right? To have something big enough to cause you to pull something outside of you that you didn't know was there. That is what we are meant to be doing, to be stretching, to be growing every day. So where are you going? You have to know where you're going. So that would be the second one there,
Yeah,
for sure.
and that almost needs to go on a t-shirt as well. Like I always say, if you don't know where you're going, what are you doing, and why are you even doing it?
Yeah.
Because we're wandering aimlessly, and then we get to the end of the road and we say, shoulda, woulda, coulda. So the point of a goal is to have you stretch and grow. It's not necessarily about the destination, because when you get there, you're just going to set another goal and want more of it. And that's natural, and you should always want more. But it's actually the person you get to grow in the process that has you stretch and grow, so that you, aren't walking around like your 7-year-old self right to your grave. It's time to grow that neurology.
Absolutely. And you'll get the stuff. I mean, that's just a wonderful byproduct of the growth. So that comes with it, but it's all about the growth, because it's who you're becoming, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what would be your last piece of advice for the audience today?
I think when you deal with people, what you want to do is you want to just basically put forth, like, leave them with an impression, like leave them better off than how they were before they even came in contact with you, right? Treat everyone like they're the most important person on earth, especially if you're an entrepreneur or a wannabe entrepreneur. You want to build your business, and it's all about people, right? It's a people business. And if you can master the art of treating everyone like they are the absolute most important person in the world, because to them they are, right? That's a part of winning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And leaving people with an impression of increase is also working with the laws, because the law of all laws, law of cause and effect, what we give out is what we get back, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I love that. Absolutely. Okay. Where can people learn more about you, connect with you? What do you have to offer for them today?
Oh, the best thing would be, I guess, Facebook Messenger would be the best way to reach out to me, for sure. Yeah.
Awesome. You guys, her name and everything and the details are in the description below, so you can check out more about her. I absolutely love Bob Proctor. He was one of my early mentors, and my life will never be the same because of him. And his legacy gets to live on with people like yourself who are helping people be aware of that they don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
And that there is another way, and life is meant to be fulfilling and blissful, and you can, have a joyful expansion and be the creator God and design your life like you were meant to be. You just don't know how, and that's exactly what she can help you with. So make sure you check out, send her a DM. Everything's in the show notes there. And just thank you so much for joining us on the show today. We appreciate your time and your energy and all that you do in making this world a better place.
And thank you so much for having me. And thank you for what you do.
Thank you. Absolutely. It's my life. It's my life mission. So
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm never going away. I'll get used to it.
I love it.
Thank you so much. And
Oh, you're
remember, thank you. Thank you. And remember, everyone, expect magic and miracles. Stay happy, healthy, wealthy. And what's the best that can happen?